Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome here if you are new. If you are new here, my name is Molly. I make health and fitness related videos on this channel, health being both physical and mental health. Before we get into today's video, I just want to say a huge thank you because if you're not new to my channel and you've watched my videos or you watched this specific video that I'm going to talk about, you would see that I made a video titled My Eating Disorder Story. And basically it was just a video about my eating disorder story and telling you guys everything about how I've had an eating disorder for the past 5 years of my life, almost 6 years since I was 15, and I'm now almost 21. And I just really opened up and shared my story, and the amount of support and love and nice messages I have received since uploading that video. People have been so kind and supportive, and I just wanted to say a huge thank you for that, because posting that video and making that video was one of the hardest things I've had to do. When you have a mental illness that you have hid for so long, it's really scary to share that with anybody, let alone sharing it on the internet. It was something that I needed to do for myself and for my channel, because my channel is now health and fitness related, and to talk about the things that I talk about, it didn't feel right to not share that with you guys. So thank you to every single person who watched that video, who commented on that video, who liked it, who messaged me. It was just really appreciated, so I just wanted to say thank you. But yeah, so I did make that video, so now I am just happy because I can finally open up to you guys and talk about, you know, more things about eating disorders and the things I've been through with that, and be super honest about it. Let's just get right into today's video because I'm super passionate about this and I really want to get this message across. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about how you do not have to look a certain way to have an eating disorder, and how eating disorders don't have a specific shape or size or look to them. It's something that I've experienced myself, I have dealt with throughout my eating disorder, and it's something that I think needs to be talked about. I wish that there were more videos like this or movies like this when I was, you know, at my lowest points with my eating disorder, because, you know, a lot of the movies, they portray eating disorders in a way of like very specific body types, and this is what we're going to dive into right now. Right now I want you guys to sit back, and when you think of the word eating disorder, when I say eating disorder, think about what that brings to your mind. What does that look like? What would a person with an eating disorder look like to you? So now that you've thought about what that looks like to you, I pretty much can guarantee that somebody or multiple people or maybe a lot of people watching this video have this very specific vision of maybe somebody that is very skinny and like skin and bones, or maybe somebody that has a little bit of extra weight to them. If you thought like that, that's okay. It's very, I don't even want to say normal, but it is normal for people to think like that, because that is what media and television and movies, just the world has kind of portrayed people with eating disorders to look like, and that is what people have seen. And if you don't have an eating disorder or you don't really know anything about them, then I feel like a lot of people kind of just automatically think that people with eating disorders look a very specific way. It's okay that you have that thought, but I am here today to hopefully change your perspective a little bit, because that's not what eating disorders look like. Eating disorders have many body types. Eating disorders don't have a specific body type. I just want to show you guys a couple pictures of me throughout my eating disorder span from when I was 15 until now, and I want to show you guys how they look different for everyone, and they look different at different times. So this picture right here is in 2016. This picture is when I hadn't told anyone. I hadn't told my parents. I had maybe told one person about my eating disorder. So this was like a very bad time, because it was very secretive. I was starving myself. I was purging after I was eating. And I want you to look at this picture, and this is me currently, like maybe a week ago. This is me now, and I still have an eating disorder, but I am in a much healthier mindset now. I have a very more positive and healthy patterns and coping mechanisms. Yes, I am still going through an eating disorder, but I have a healthier mindset, and I am stronger, and I'm more capable of fighting these thoughts and fighting my eating disorder and coping with it in healthy ways that don't include harming my body. You can see in the two pictures, obviously in this picture I am bigger than I am now, and I'm not saying that I'm like fat or big or anything. Each picture is just a little bit different. Like now I obviously have lost weight compared to this picture, and it's funny because the behaviors that I was doing and allowing myself to do and my eating disorder was making me do, you would probably expect me to look more like I do now, or look skinnier than I do now, or be very small, because I was starving my body and I was throwing up the foods I was eating. So in a person's head who doesn't have an eating disorder is probably like, well, why didn't you look like you do now then, or why didn't you look skinnier then? Like, I don't get it. So I want to tell you guys that an eating disorder is mental. It brings out physical reactions and results. It has very harmful physical results, but initially an eating disorder is in your head. You can look normal or healthy on the outside, but on the inside is where you're sick. You know that people have an eating disorder. If somebody tells you they have an eating disorder and they don't look really small, it doesn't make sense, maybe, because you're like, how can you have an eating disorder if you don't look skeletal or your bones aren't popping out? Like I said, initially it's in your brain, and yes, over time it can cause physical results, but people have to stop thinking that the only way you can have an eating disorder is if you're underweight or if you're overweight. That's not okay, because that makes the person that has the eating disorder think that their feelings and what's going on in their head is not valid. I have heard many times, you don't look too skinny, so I guess that's good. That makes the person think that, well, I feel sick and I don't feel right and I know I need help, but I guess that I don't look it, so I guess I'll just wait until I do look it to get help. That's how I kind of thought. I thought that I didn't look sick enough, so I thought that I didn't deserve to get help because I'm not like the girl or the boy that has an eating disorder who's laying in a hospital bed with tubes because they're so sick. I didn't think, okay, I'm not like that, so I don't deserve to go get help. That is not the case, and every single person with an eating disorder deserves to get help, and it doesn't matter if you look a certain way. It's just you're sick in your head and you need help, and it's a mental disorder. It's a mental illness, and your feelings and your disorder is valid, and it's causing you to be sick in your brain. And I just wish that even TV shows and movies would portray it in a different light, because all of the movies that I have seen about eating disorders, which by the way are very, very few, there's not enough movies out there about it, but that's a different topic. All the movies or TV shows or whatever articles, pictures I've seen, they show eating disorders as people getting really, really thin, or people gaining weight or looking so different from what they did. And I wish so badly that they would just kind of show more of what goes on in your brain as opposed to what goes on physically. And yes, it can be very damaging to your physical health, but we need to attack what's going on before it becomes physically damaging to your health. And people don't feel that their disorder is valid because they don't look exactly like the person who's really sick, and they think that that person deserves it more. But really, you have to ask for help, and you deserve help. If you have an eating disorder and you don't look, maybe you look like I did and you don't look super skinny, so you think, okay, maybe I'll just wait a couple months and I'll just keep losing weight, and I'll just wait until I hit this certain weight, and then maybe I'll ask for help, and then maybe I'll be taken seriously. Don't do that, because you're gonna need help now. You want to attack the problem before it gets really, really harmful, and it's already harming your mental health, so you don't want it to get to the point where it's really harming you physically. I'm telling you right now, if you have an eating disorder, please get help. Please know that what you're feeling is real. Even if you think you might have one, go to the doctor, go to a family member who you trust, go to a parent, go to an adult, go to a friend, and say hey, I'm having these feelings and I just feel like I need help, and I don't know exactly if I have this, but I want to figure it out and I want to attack it. Attack it in the beginning, because that's something that I wish I had done. Ask for help earlier on, because going to a therapist and going and talking to people really helped me so much. And I've talked about this a million times on my channel, and I'm just a huge advocate for going to therapy, but I wish I had gone sooner, because those first couple years that I was keeping in a secret, I could have been getting the help I needed, and I could have been taking care of myself sooner. So please go get help. If you're looking for a sign, this is your sign to just take that leap, and it's really scary. And I can make a whole video on how to ask for help and stuff if you guys would be interested in seeing that. It's really scary. In the long run, you're gonna thank yourself later, and that's something that I do now is thank myself for that, because without asking for help and without telling people what's going on, I wouldn't be able to be talking about it right now, and I'm just super thankful. So you might not feel better right away, but you will. So I hope that this kind of opened your mind. If you were one of those people in the beginning of this video that visioned a certain specific look to somebody who has eating disorder, I hope that maybe I opened your mind a little bit to seeing that it doesn't have a certain look on it, and you don't have to be a certain size or a certain weight to have an eating disorder. Another thing is that you don't know what people are going through based on what they look like. Like, somebody with anxiety might not look like they have anxiety, but they're anxious every day, or somebody with depression might not look like they're depressed, but they're going home at night and feeling just so depressed and down. And people don't show everything on the outside. We have this life to live, and we don't come outside every single day looking like what's going on in our brain, but it's really important to be kind to people and take into consideration the fact that anybody can be going through anything. So being a little bit kinder every single day can make a huge difference in people's lives. And it's really important to recognize that mental illness looks different for everyone. It doesn't show the same for everyone, and some people are more open about it, some people are more closed off, like I was. It's important to respect people. With all that being said, I just want to say thank you for watching today's video. And the new uploading schedule for my channel is I always do 2 videos every single week, but I'm gonna add in a 3rd video every single Saturday. I'm gonna do like a workout video. I have a couple videos like that I've done, so you can go check those out too if you want to get your workout on. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys this week with 2 more videos. And I hope you have a great day or night, whatever time it is when you are watching this. See you guys next time. Bye.
No worries, please get back early. Head out with champagne and dresses, and let's get